Did you miss me? Because it's totally okay to say that you did. Hey, Vagsters. So I am making a podcast today. And if you're wondering why I'm holding this camera and this microphone, it's because I'm doing both at the same time because I'm lazy. So I've been missing from the video sphere, the YouTube world for a little bit. And it's mostly because I've been trying to gather myself together and prepare myself for what I've been working through for the past couple of months. And basically, about 2 months ago, I was diagnosed with a neurological condition, and it is called trigeminal neuralgia. And it causes constant pain to my temples. To It's usually on one side, but I of course had to get the anomaly, and it has switched sides twice so far. But this is a constant, dull, sometimes sharp pain that is radiating through my temple at any given time of day. And initially, I thought it was headaches related to work, so I was taking Advils and or Tylenols, acetaminophen, you name it, to kind of try to manage the pain, but that stopped working after a while. So a lot of people have been asking where my videos have been, and it's mostly been because I haven't been able to function very well to edit, create, edit, and share videos. So I apologize for the hiatus, but I realized that this is a topic that other people are going through, and I figured since I have the platforms, multiple platforms, this is a great way to share my experience so far and share what I've been doing to cope and how I've been able to deal with and function with this chronic pain issue. So, reversing back to 2 months ago, I was having these head pains and I was ignoring them for the most part or attending to them with regular over the counter painkillers. I did also do my usual holistic measures, putting peppermint oil on my forehead, diffusing, things like that. But the pain was growing increasingly stronger and increasingly harder to manage. And one night I was trying to sleep, and the pain was so immense that I ended up screaming. And my husband rushed me to the ER because I thought my brain was going to explode. So when I got there, I explained the symptoms that I was feeling, and the doctor went away for a few minutes, but came back pretty quickly with a diagnosis of trigeminal neuralgia. Now, even though I've never heard of this disorder before, apparently it's pretty common, and there are people out there who have been suffering in varying degrees. Some people who have it worse than I do, and they are on various forums, which I've been looking into and trying to find other people who are going through the same thing, and trying to make sure that I realize that, I'm not alone in this process. So over the past few weeks, I have been trying to find different ways to cope and different ways to function, because this is something that's been pretty debilitating over the course of the time that it's been worsening. So I wasn't able to go to work. I wasn't able to help you guys. I wasn't able to answer any questions. I wasn't even able to really look at the computer screen or even look at my phone. And occasionally it gets to the point where I can't even speak. So I'm just basically trotting through life, trotting through my days, trying to continue functioning and trying to keep my spirits up, because talking is something that I really like to do, and socializing is something that I really like to do. So it's been a rough couple of months. It was really saddening and depressing at the beginning because I really couldn't figure out what's wrong. We're still working through that, but I have been able to find a few strategies that help me to manage and get through my days. Actually, I've found some strategies that have left me moderately or pretty much pain free for the past couple weeks. So, for starters, I'm not a skeptic of doctors or the medical system. What I am is someone who is not afraid to research different avenues to get different results. and successful results. So during this process, I was referred to a neurologist, and the facility that I go to is wonderful, but the solutions that I was provided were not sufficient. And for the most part, those solutions were pain meds. I'm talking about class 1 meds, meds that sell on the black market for God knows how much, medications that require you to be present and sign for your meds. Strong. I mean, it could put anybody out. So when those medications were prescribed to me, I was taking them, but I wasn't able to drive. I wasn't able to conduct my coachings or speak to people on a long span of time because I was really groggy and at some points pretty disoriented, especially at the beginning. So that was a problem for me because my livelihood is talking. My livelihood is helping people. So being unable to do that was really saddening, and it was really difficult because bills got to get paid, right? So I started looking into this disorder, and I learned that it's caused mostly because the nerves are damaged, but they're not damaged to the point where they don't work. They're damaged to the point where they misfire and they cause this severe pain. Long story short. So trying to do different regular holistic ways like applying ice or applying heat actually was making it worse. Even trying to massage my temples made it worse. Touching my face made it worse. Everything, like breathing, made it worse. Literally. Breathing in through my nose, it brought in cold air through my nasal cavities, and then it would go straight to the nerves, and it would just, I don't even know a good way to describe the pain that someone who hasn't felt it could understand it. It feels like lightning flashing through my skull, basically. So trying to use the pain meds to manage that was difficult because if you need to function on a daily basis, you cannot be walking around looking like you're a cast member from The Walking Dead. And essentially that's what I look like on a regular basis. So I started playing around with other holistic methods. One of the methods that I have started using, and I have found it to be the most effective so far, or one of the two most effective methods, was or is cannabis oil. So I do extract the oil myself. I won't even go into that process. Depending on which state you're in, it's not even legal, so we won't go there. But I have been rubbing it on my temples before I go to bed. I use it when I feel the pain starting to come in, and that helps to kind of calm the nerves and numb the nerves somewhat so that I can proceed to step 2 or go on to try and finish the rest of my day. So that has been working really well. I rub it on my temples twice a day, and then I go to sleep to try to, make sure I'm not doing anything additional to agitate the nerves. And since it's topical, I haven't found myself getting high or anything, but it has been working super effectively. So that's method 1 that I found that has worked so far. Now, unfortunately, that's not something that can be done by regular people, especially if you work for someone that drug tests. You don't want to risk it. So it's important to look at other options that may be suitable for you that's going to not involve drug testing and something that's going to be legal. So, I went to the Philippines almost 2 weeks ago. I was there. I've been back for almost 2 weeks. And the pain actually came back while I was there, mostly because of my posture and I believe the air pressure during the long flights. And that was really rough for me because I did have to revert back to using the painkillers. And that was something I was really trying to avoid, and I was hoping that preparing ahead of time before my trip would make it easier, but it didn't. Now, the second non-drug related method that I've been using is actually seeing the chiropractor. So the neurologist really didn't have many answers for me. She wasn't able to tell me what the root cause was. She wasn't able to tell me what any agitators were, and it may be because of lack of research, maybe because patients haven't been coming into her specifically with this issue, but I was getting almost no answers. I was offered steroid shots, I was offered steroid medications that you take orally, and then, of course, I was offered pain meds. So something clicked during this time, and I thought to myself, let me try and see what some alternative medicine treatments would be that could work. So, one of the things that I read about was acupuncture, and then the second option was chiropractic treatment with spinal adjustments to help alleviate the stress on the nerves. So I did go in to see the chiropractor. I explained what I was going through, and he was actually very familiar with trigeminal neuralgia, and he knew basically an initial way to start the process to alleviate the pain. So he did do an x-ray of my spine. He did an x-ray inside my mouth to see what was going on, and then he was able to notice that there was a little bit of a curvature issue in my spine. So once he was able to recognize that, he started the process of gently setting the spine and massaging the back area, and that immediately relieved my pain. I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, it relieved my pain immediately, and it worked for about 4 days, and I went 4 whole days without any pain at all, and I cried so hard because I have been suffering for the past 2 months with this pain, and I was so relieved to find that that one seemingly simple treatment was so effective in relieving the pain to the point where I could function. I could go play with my daughter. I could make dinner, read my research, do my medical journals, help people, and get back to what I've been doing for so long. So it was a really big relief, and I'm really happy that I went that route. So far, I haven't found the need to go to the acupuncturist because this method has been so effective, but it is ongoing. I went for an MRI this past week. I'm going for another MRI this week. I'm getting a brain scan, which should be super fun because they're going to inject me with that dye that they use so that they can see what's going on inside my head. And I just cannot wait to lay inside of that machine and hear all those wonderful sounds. And hopefully we'll get some sort of answers as to what's causing the issue, the primary issue, and find a way to eliminate it completely if possible. But I really and truly respect and have a newfound understanding of people who suffer from chronic pain in any capacity. There are so many different ways that the body can go through pain on a daily basis, and none of them are easy. None of them are always manageable. So it's very commendable for people to be able to step out each day and actually go out into the world and function when they're in such debilitating pain. Because when I tell you that there have been days where I haven't been able to get out of bed, I am not joking. I haven't been able to drink water. I haven't been able to breathe. I haven't been able to hum. And even worse, I haven't been able to sing. And I absolutely love singing when I'm driving, singing in the shower, things like that. And it was really saddening and discouraging to have those problems on such an ongoing basis. So I'm really happy right now because I've been seeing the chiropractor twice a week, and that has been actually tiding me over. So I'll go on Monday, for example, and then I won't go again until Wednesday. And I've been able to manage not having pain in between that time so that I can get to the next appointment, get my treatment, and then continue on for the rest of the week. Occasionally, I do have moments where I do have to take pain medication, but I can cut them in half. I can only take one. I can take a lighter dosage, and I don't have to take the strong meds that put me out because the pain is alleviated to a point where I'm functional. And what I'll be doing for, well, indefinitely is I'll be chronicling this journey once a month, just coming back with recaps of my treatment processes and letting everyone know what's been happening with me and this trigeminal neuralgia. And hopefully it will help someone else. Hopefully it will help someone to find some alternatives that work for them. I have been reading different forums and looking into the hashtags to see what people have been going through. And there's so many people who can't even get out of the bed. who can't go outside, who can't spend time with their family, who can't socialize, and all they can do is stay online and speak with other people in the forums, because going outside, going into the sun, going into the light, talking, sounds, noise, everything hurts, and it's not easy. It's definitely not easy to do. So for all of my viewers who are going through chronic pain, you are not alone. You are never alone, and you will never be alone. But I will try to the best of my ability to find ways to help everyone get through whatever form of pain they're going through. There are workarounds in different capacities, and getting that second opinion, getting that second thought, maybe just a new idea that seems simple, that might be the answer that you need. So I really appreciate you guys being patient with me. I haven't been able to get to all my emails right away. I haven't been able to return phone calls right away. And it's mostly because I'm just taking it step by step and day by day. So everyone who's been rocking out with me and being super patient during this time, I really appreciate you. And I'm getting back on track. So we will be back in action. I have some new toys to review, some new products to review, some new products to share with you guys. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into YouTube universe and being back in my podcast full force so that I can get back to helping you guys and answering your questions. So as usual, if you have any questions, you can email me. It's Kimi, Kimi, at v4vag.com. If I'm traveling, it's v4vag at gmail.com, because that's the fastest way to get to me. And you can also ask your questions down below in the comments. And of course, I'll be there to answer them as quickly as possible. So stay cool, you guys, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to hit subscribe down at the bottom of your screen.